Arizona's Family presents State 48, the podcast. Stories, backstories, people, and places that make Arizona grand.
Hi everyone, welcome to Jamie's Local Love. Today we are talking about AZ Chimney Cakes. Have you heard of a chimney cake? Well, I hadn't until my good friend Diana Brandt of AZ Foodie said, Jamie, you've got to do a story on this guy. And these chimney cakes are incredible. So she being AZ Foodie and me knowing that she's got a great eye for great food, I had to find out more. So I'm sitting here at Paradise Valley Mall, my old stomping grounds. This is a place where I used to walk to as a child. It's in my old neighborhood. My folks still live nearby. And this is where AZ Chimney Cakes is located. They do have a food truck as well, but if you find their southwest main entrance, you'll see them from the parking lot, so you can park and come straight in to this entrance. And sitting with me, we have Zarin Williams. He is the owner of AZ Chimney Cakes. And Zarin, you didn't bake, you didn't cook growing up. Tell me, this is kind of left field for you to do this chimney cake. How did this happen?
So I'm actually a systems analyst.
Which means?
I work on and configure HR systems. So I was on a European implementation for our European population, and I got to travel a lot over to Belgium and to Munich and to a few other places quite a few times. And I got to take side trips while I was there because I would go 2 weeks at a time. So I took a side trip to Prague from Friday to Sunday night. And in Prague, I fell in love on the streets watching chimney cakes be baked over hot coals on open fires.
Oh my gosh.
And they were filled with all kinds of stuff. They were filled with ice creams, they were filled with creams, they came with different coatings on the outside, and I just loved them. So when I got back from Munich on that trip, I decided I had to have more, and every day that went by, I wanted them more and more.
Oh
so
my gosh.
I looked them up. I couldn't find them anywhere in Arizona. The closest place was either California or Texas, and I thought that might be a little expensive every weekend to go pick up.
Yeah.
So I started researching and fiddling with stuff at home, and my mom helped me out on research, and we found some recipes and started monkeying around and testing things in the kitchen, and then eventually ordered equipment straight from Budapest.
Wow.
And started making them a little more seriously and having different tastings for people to come and give feedback. So I did a few different free events where I just gave them away to neighbors. I went to my sister's neighborhood in East Mesa and gave them away to her neighbors. And then I gave them away at work a lot. So everyone at my work is addicted to chimney cakes.
So they love you over
Yes.
there. Very popular. Mom wanted, Kathy, she works here with you most every day, and she detailed the creams. She's got her secret recipes that she won't give away, but she did give away a little bit of information about you. She wanted me to know that you're a veteran and that you come from a military family and that you had the loss of a brother, and this really kind of inspired you both to follow your dreams right now.
Yes. My brother died when he was 35. And
In
I think,
combat?
no, after he had gotten home, but from related injuries, very early in life. 35 is pretty young. And I think it taught us all a valuable lesson that, tomorrow's not promised. And if you want to do something, you need to get out and get it started.
Yeah, because when you went and told your boss you were going to do chimney cakes and you're the systems guy, what's the response?
I think from my direct boss, I got pretty good positive feedback. She really likes them, and she was with me. She was with me in Prague.
Yeah.
Some of my other coworkers were pretty surprised, to see somebody in the environment where you see them as a systems analyst and more of an introvert to say, I'm going to go out and be an extrovert.
And bake.
And bake, yes. Baking is not something you associate with systems configuration.
And doing a food truck. So you started with a food truck. You did that for how long?
We had the food truck open for probably 7 or 8 months by the time we opened this location. The summertime was pretty quiet, but in the springtime and in the fall time, we were out doing all kinds of various events. So, you know, we did things like birthday parties. We did, you know, kind of the rounds of the festivals down in
Mesa.
down in Mesa and Chandler and Gilbert and Queen Creek. We live in Mesa, so that's easier to get out to do East Valley
And that
food truck
oven
events.
is legit. It's
Yes.
700 degrees hot
Yes.
in a food truck, so that is hot. But where did you find the oven, and how did you figure out how to make everything like that?
So the oven we ordered from a company that makes them in Budapest. So everything's been shipped in from Europe. We got our sticks. They're all custom made in Europe, specifically for baking chimney cakes. And the ovens are made also specifically for baking them. And we have gas ovens for the food truck, and we have electric ovens for the store. We're asked often why we don't cook them over hot coals like they do in Romania and Hungary and Czech Republic, and our standard answer is usually, I don't think you know, the county health department would
Allow that.
approve you
I think of
cooking
wildfires.
over a trash can.
We don't want a
Yes.
wildfire. Talk to me about the jump. So from going, you still worked your full-time job,
Yes.
to being now an entrepreneur on the side, but full-time as well. How does that work, and how does that look for you?
It is a lot of work. It means no social life and no personal life or personal time. So when people ask you if you've seen like a new movie and you're an entrepreneur, the answer is always no. So yeah, it's a lot of work, but I think it's worth it, and I feel like you know, it's a good adjustment to go from sitting in a cube all week and then being very excited to come engage, talk to people, share your products, see people smile when they're eating them because everyone loves them, and also you know, by the time the weekend's done and I've been standing on my feet for, you know, 14 hours a day for Saturday and Sunday, I'm very much ready to go sit in a desk chair in a cube. So it's a good counterbalance.
What are some of the lessons that you've learned from being a new entrepreneur that you would tell people?
I think maybe, you know, take it slow and you know, do a lot of research and figure out, you know, who your customer base is, find out, you know, just as much information as you can. We've seen, you know, food truckers who are wanting to come in and open a new food truck will go work in a food truck, you know, temporarily for a couple of months to kind of understand flow and how things should be configured. And I think that's great advice to actually go live the life you want to build from scratch. So
you are living the life that you built from scratch.
yes.
How does that feel? I know
it-
you're tired, but are you having fun?
Yes, I'm having lots of fun. I think it's, you know, it's a very good creative output of, you know, being able to come here after being, you know, in a strict rules-based job where, you know, there's only so many things you can do inside a system, and there's system constraints. Where here it's kind of open up. We're baking dough, and you can do anything with it. So,
And you really have done anything with it. So in front of me right here, I have the Bavarian, what is it? The Munich is what it's called.
Yes.
And it's got Bavarian cream in it. And the dough is delicious, but it's the way it's cooked, I think, that I love the most, because I feel like I should get this close to my mic. Can you hear that crunch? So you have the crunch, and then you have the dough, and then this is cinnamon covered. Talk to me about the different flavors that you have.
so one thing that's important to note is when
Yes.
it's baking wrapped around a rotisserie spit, the dough on the inside is light and fluffy. The dough on the outside is crunchy.
And crispy,
Yeah,
yeah.
kind of crispy. We have a whole bunch of different toppings for the outside for sweet and savory. So In the process of making a sweet one, we roll it in sunflower oil and sugar. And while it's baking, the sugar caramelizes and becomes sticky, which then allows us to roll it in cinnamon and sugar, plain sugar, walnuts, coconut, graham cracker crust, all kinds of different things.
And then we're filling with?
And then we're filling with things like Bavarian cream, Oreo or chocolate cream, strawberries and whipped cream. We have like a whole bunch of spreads, like Nutella spread, which is, a European favorite.
Yeah.
And then we also have like Hershey's chocolate spread. We have peanut butter for some people, so they like peanut butter on theirs.
Yeah, I do.
And then we also have
Savory.
yes, we have savory.
Tell me about the savory ones.
So the savory ones are baked in kind of a different way. So when we bake a savory, we bake the items directly on either the cone or the cylinder-shaped chimney cake. So if you get a jalapeno and Havarti cheese, which is one option, we have Kalamata olives and Gouda cheese, and then we also have
The spinach.
yes, we have spinach artichoke dip in a Parmesan wrapped cone.
I almost drooled a little bit. And then you could also fill one with ice cream if you wanted.
Yes, and then we also have sweet cones that we can do ice cream, or actually in the food truck, we bake everything exclusively in cone shapes.
Okay.
So
And the reason they're called chimney cake is because, so when you order one, you want to come and pay close attention because you'll see it smoke.
yes, and you can watch the entire process from start to finish of it being made, which is also unique because you can't usually do that at a sit-down restaurant or at a lot of places.
So what's next for you? What's the future hold for AZ Chimney Cakes?
I don't know. We'll be expanding the menu always. We're always doing a little bit of R&D and trying to find new concoctions and trying new stuff. So we'll be adding new stuff to the menu constantly.
So again, we're over at Paradise Valley Mall. We're at the southwest main entrance, so you can see AZ Chimney Cakes from the street. They also have lattes and coffee. You have a hot dog cone too, so we want to mention that. So it's time to go to my magic mason jar. This is where we have craft sticks with different ideas and thoughts attached to them, and I'll have you just pull 3.
Okay.
And they're kind of in cliff notes, so I usually just read them to you.
Okay.
Since they don't make much sense besides them. Let's see what we have. Okay, so what energizes you? You're working 24/7. What energizes you?
Like I said earlier, I think it's the mixture of sitting down and working on a computer, and then having the ability to go somewhere and stand up and engage and be a little bit extroverted, talk to people, and I think it's the most exciting thing ever to watch people eat a chimney cake for the first time because they're all like very excited. We ask for feedback from everyone who comes here of, did you like it? What did you think about the size? And we ask, how did you hear about us? Why'd you stop here? Because it's good feedback to know, and then it's also helpful for the future for making new things. So
my next question is, I'll go with passion. You ever think you'd find your passion roaming the streets of Prague?
No.
And here you go.
No, I definitely didn't. I was looking at like 4 or 5 different cities to go to for that weekend. And I booked that trip maybe 2 months early before I was going to Munich that time. And I was bouncing back and forth of, do I want to go to like Nice, France? Do I want to go to like Slovenia, or where do I want to go? Because at earlier trips I had gone, to a few different cities, and I thought it would be nice to go to Prague. It's it's a large city, and it's one of the Central European cities that's actually been left largely untouched by World War II. So there's a lot of history you can see. So I was excited about that.
All right. What are you grateful for?
I think all of the support I've gotten from my family and the support I got from my coworkers after their mind
was blown.
After their minds were blown. I think it's been super helpful, and I've gotten a lot of feedback and made a lot of changes over time to kind of perfect the recipe, and also adding in some ideas that kind of, leave the ability for us to have, a traditional chimney cake for, maybe someone who's coming here from Romania, versus, Americanizing it for
the ice cream
the
parfait,
sweet tooths, the sweet tooths that we have here.
Yeah. Okay, what are your hours?
Our hours are Monday through Saturday. We're open 10 a.m. to 8 p.m.
All right.
And then on Sundays, we're open 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. And then we're also on Grubhub and Uber Eats. So
they can be delivered right there to your home.
yes, so they can bring them to your house.
Thank you for your time this morning. Again, it is called AZ Chimney Cakes. We're putting all this information online for you at azfamily.com. Click on Jamie's Local Love. I'm going to let you listen to that crunch one more time, and I'm going to take my final bite. Sure, final bite. Just tell them it's the final bite of this delicious chimney. Look at that dough cake.
Thanks for listening. Arizona's Family State 48, the podcast, is brought to you by Arizona's Family, 3TV and CBS 5, part of the local media group of the Meredith Corporation.